Hello everybody and welcome to this video of Unidentified Films. I'm sitting with some, not all, some of the cast of the Table Saga franchise that I've been doing. I'll be doing some of the other cast members next week as well. Just wanted to kind of do this and have a sit-down conversation kind of about, how our characters have changed since the beginning versus where they're at now and where they're going to be going as we head into Table Read into Obscurity, which is going to be the final film in this particular saga. So, I just kind of wanted to have everyone start by introducing themselves and also who they play in the films. We'll start with you.
Hi, I'm Caitlin. I play Daniel Reed as well as Addison.
Yes.
I'm Shani. I play Crystal.
I'm Ashton O'Malley. I play Leo Davidson.
Yes, and another thing too about that, and I'm mentioning that because he introduced himself as Ashton O'Malley. I have been using his government name for the past several films, not even realizing that that's not the name he wants to go by. Letting you guys know everything we're talking about in this is not spoiler free. So if you haven't seen any of the films yet, or you haven't seen Noah's Ark yet, please don't watch this because we're going to be spoiling some major plot points from Noah's Ark in this. My name is Gregory Siegel, and I am the writer, director, producer, just the creator of the whole series. But I also play Ken as well as Johnny in this, in Noah's Ark. Johnny's body no longer exists, so Johnny and Ken share a body currently. So right now I'm playing both characters, and we're going to be touching a little bit on that today as well. So I kind of wanted to go ahead and start. How has Leo changed since the first film?
I feel like in the first film we didn't really get to know Leo very much. He was just the neighbor. I guess he becomes more of a person who has inner thoughts that can be related to by anybody watching the film. And he's not just the typical kind of player or whatever. In future films, we're going to see him take more of that leader role and really take the facilitator into a different path.
How has Ken changed since the first film? Ken has changed a lot. If you remember in the first Table Read film, Ken was just kind of a dick, kind of evil, kind of, he lived on the streets. He didn't have any family. He grew up in a universe that didn't belong to him, because he was taken from his own. Noah's Ark is a huge defining moment for him because he loses his memory, gets it back, and now he's trying to basically save his friend and give him his body back. So yeah, people have been asking me, why do they care so much for each other? They were killing each other in the first film. The reason they were killing each other in the first film was because of all the events of the material, the money, the animosity that was between the flesh. Now that all that's been stripped away, all they're left with is their friendship because they grew up as best friends, and that is now the focus of their relationship, is trying to heal from that. They're on a new journey and a new path together. They share the same body now. Oh yeah, this one is for Caitlin, and this is actually a great question. How has it been trying to adapt a pre-existing character through your own experience? Because, as you know, Addison was originally played by Olivia Aisha.
It was a lot of fun. I took a lot from Olivia, just in how she was so sure and confident of herself because she was in her own element in the first film, and then I kind of turned into my own where she was a lot more sly and mischievous. She's not really in her own element anymore. She's in this world where she's taken over somebody's body, and I wanted to kind of be sneaky with it, and I found that a lot of fun just because Olivia was amazing, and I wanted to portray as much of her as I could in my character. But
it's a tough act to follow.
It was a very tough act to follow.
She was really good at that role. How does your vision of Addison differ from Olivia Aisha's version of Addison?
Again, I think I just want to make my vision a little more like she was out of her element, but she was still sly and mischievous with it all. Another part is just coming out of almost a kidnapped body and settling into it in a new world.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. All right, Shani, what were some of the decisions? Because you're one of the more recent additions to the series. How did you decide to play the role?
Well, like as I was reviewing the script, I was trying to figure out how to create my character in a sense. As I'm reading the script, I kind of noticed that she seemed a little bit more knowledgeable in a sense because she was one of the oldest facilitators. So with that, I kind of made it to where it was like she was more strict, kind of like get to the point, make sure everything is like going right, following the rules, but still kind of like bouncing off of Ashton. When he became a new facilitator for the table, I was kind of like telling like the inhabitant that Leo's still new and that he can't do certain things because he still has a lot of things to learn.
Not only is Leo absorbing a lot of what's going on from Crystal, but he's doing it from others as well, because I feel like of all the characters in this movie, Leo represents everyone watching the movie.
Well, yeah, because he kind of just got thrown into it.
Yeah.
It's like it's not his fault that he's still new and he's making mistakes, because like he just got thrown into it. He's still new to everything.
Yeah, I just came into this world just like the audience.
Yeah.
Just like the audience did.
Right.
And that's exactly how I wrote this, because I wanted Leo to kind of represent the mind that the audience would have. And that's why he has a lot of those moments like, we got to get out of this like cheaply made movie set then. You know what I mean? Because like what the audience is thinking, basically Leo is saying what the audience is thinking. And that's a part of that kind of meta-ness that I wrote in this, and he has a lot of those lines, because if he does speak for the audience, he needs to say what they're thinking. And I think that breaking that fourth wall is just a great way of doing that, since the facilitators are skilled at breaking the fourth wall anyway, So, Ashton, describe Leo's relationship with the inhabitant.
These are all funny questions. His relationship with the inhabitant. I feel like it's one of, I don't know, kind of like a dual kind of relationship. Of course, it's dynamic.
I think it's kind of like a buddy cop situation.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. It's like there's respect there, but at the same time, there's like kind of not, because it's like, I don't know, it's kind of his character just kind of like...
They just tease each other.
Yeah.
They kind of got this buddy kind of relationship, which is really totally different than what people were expecting after watching Convolution. Shani, did you feel that you had to in some way replicate what some of the other facilitators did? And did you just decide to kind of take your own interpretation and go your own way with the character?
And in some ways, yes, I wanted to see what the other facilitators did to like kind of see where my character should be at. But in other ways, each facilitator is different in their own way. So I did want to take like my own spin on how my character is going to be, and because of the introduction of Noah's Ark and then going into obscurity, she does have more of a controlling, sassy side. So I feel like into obscurity you're going to see a lot more of her, more of like a human side, where in Noah's Ark she's kind of like, that's
a very good point.
This is what's happening, let's just get it done, while into obscurity you're gonna
see more vulnerability.
You're gonna see more of like a emotional side of her into obscurity.
I agree with that completely. And Caitlin, same thing for you. Did you feel that you had to in some way kind of replicate the way that Olivia played the facilitator, or did you just kind of say like, I'm gonna use it as a framework but build my own situation around it?
I definitely used it as a framework, but built it as my own.
Yeah.
I drew a lot from facial expressions that she used when she was.
Yeah, I vary that. Yeah.
But I did want to make it my own, just because she she's in this whole new world that she gets to manipulate and play with.
Yeah.
So I did want to draw a little bit just for nostalgia's sake, but wanted to make it my own.
Yeah, for sure. Now we're gonna kind of end off with a question for everybody. It's gonna be the same for everybody, and we'll start with Leo and work our way up to me. or Ashton. I call everybody by their character names. I get in the bad habit of doing that. I wonder how many other filmmakers do that. If you're a filmmaker, do you do that? Do you call your actors by their character names subconsciously? What is next for your character in Table Read Into Obscurity without giving too much away?
Well, that's a big question. Because it's without giving stuff away. Well, I mean, like you said earlier, he cares about the world too, like exploding. You know, like he says, like several times, and everybody's like, "Calm down. It's cool. It's fine. It's cool. It's whatever." That's just where he kind of shows this, sensitive side on the inside. It's like he cares about everything.
Yeah.
And maybe even too much. Maybe that's his downfall. We'll see.
Yeah. All right, Shani. What's next for your character in Into Obscurity?
Well, like you said, I was one of the new facilitators in Noah's Ark, so I didn't really get a lot of scenes in Noah's Ark. It was more of just like an introduction, but my character is definitely going to be more in it Into Obscurity.
Or human-like, like you said. Or human-like.
Yeah, she's going to have a lot more emotion, but there's something that my character does that makes the whole film revolve around what she does. Mm-hmm. So I'm very excited for that because it's going to be very interesting and very shocking, I guess you could say.
Very shocking. The whole film, in a way, I would at least say that the whole film in Act 2 and 3 of the film revolves around something that she does. And it is going to potentially change everything. Okay, and what about you? What is next for Addison Taylor?
Well, Addison has set the ball rolling, and things are now in motion. She's got this job that she wants to do, and you're going to see the effects of that and Into Obscurity, and kind of see what she's done and what she's put into motion.
Yeah.
She will stop at nothing.
She will stop at nothing to do what she needs to. That is a great way of saying it. And it might not even be what you think it is. And then for me, really, with Johnny and Ken, what's next for them is to continue working together for their goal. So we're going to see a lot of Johnny and Ken actually having conversations with each other in the same headspace, which we saw at the end of Noah's Ark, but we're going to be seeing a lot more of that in Into Obscurity. And then obviously, because it's the closing, it's the final chapter, it will be closing up their characters' motivations and their wants and needs. So obviously it's going to be very emotional, and it will be released. Well, we don't know when it'll be released. We're hoping for a fall release. It just depends on when we can get this damn final scene filmed. We are going to be trying to film it on like the 6th and 7th of August, so that should be our last filming day. The full official trailer will be released on August 1st, so I'm excited for you guys to see it. Make sure you've watched Noah's Ark if you haven't yet. And if you're watching this and you haven't, then shame on you. All right, awesome. So, goodbye, everybody. Thanks for watching.